Welcome to the fastest daf in town. Today we'll masech this Nazir daf Lamed Aleph. We are going to begin on the bottom of Lamed Amud Beis by the new Mishnah, new Parak. Beis Shammai Omrim Hektish Tois Hektish. Beis Shammai says that when it comes to being makdish something by mistake, it's still considered to be hektish. We look at Tosus can refarish to Ozel. Mishum de Basar Hachi Arya ben Naziris Batois, since we're talking about Naziris by mistake, Nakat Hani Putaihu ben Mechilton. So that's the reason why we bring down Hektish Batois, because we talked about when it came to making a Neder Batois, you thought it was your wife, it was your daughter, all these different things. So Beis Shammai says it's Hektish. As we continue to Lamed Aleph, as one could suspect, the next line, Beisil Oimrim Ein Hektish, it's not good. It's not going to be hektish. So we'll understand the reason behind it, but nonetheless, he says that if you make a mistake, even if you want to be mocked or something, it doesn't work. It's not kaddish. So Ketzad. So what is the case? And the Mishnah is going to actually bring three cases. Per person says, Shor Shachar Shiyatsa Mibesi Rishon. So we're going to discuss exactly what's this case, but just push it. We have a person who says, a black ox that is going to come out mibesi, from my property, from my home, rishon, first. So we're going to be understanding all these different words of mibesi and rishon, and the fact that he said shor shachar, sorry, who hektish, it'll be hektish. Yotza lavan, and the animal that came out first was a white ox. So he wanted to be makdish, and he maybe thought that the first one was going to come out was going to be a shor shachor. Instead, it was a shor lav. So Beis Shammai omrim hektish, Beisil omrim einu hektish. So in this we have this machlokus whether or not in fact it will be hektish or not. So look in this Taisus. So the top Taisus, ish the mafarshi begamar milsa the Beis Shammai the kami hektish. When he says it's hektish, a lavan koi, it's referring to the white one, because which one actually came out first? The white one. So therefore, the simple reading is that mashma hektish tois havi hektish. That what, even though he mentioned the black ox, but the one that came out is the one that will be hektish, the white one. The Yesh loimer the daito havi lahaktish mashiyatz mebeis rishon, because his entire intention was just to be makdish the first animal that came out, which in that case is the white one. Umashir meshachar. So why did he mention black? Lafi shata, he made a mistake. He just thought that the first animal that was going to come out first was black, but the Ritziah says it doesn't make any difference. He just wanted to be makdish the animal that came out. Hilkoch. Ta'usa lo yimna es hahektish melocho al hashor shiatz mebeis harishon. Therefore, it doesn't take away from what he really wanted to do, which was to be makdish the animal that came out first. And therefore, that's it. The white one is considered to be hektish. And feel al halavan chal hektish. That really, he also wanted to be makdish even that one. And then let's continue to Taisus. The East Mefarshi, the shor shachar shiatza achar halavan kadosh. Actually, the black ox that came out after the white one is kadosh. The afagav doli nafek rishon min habayis. Now this is interesting. Not that the first ox, which was white, is the one that's hektish, but rather the second animal that came out, which the second one was black, was first a white one, then a black one. So that one is hektish. Shomayri shiatzarishim and abayis l'shar shlam shechayrim. And what it's basically saying is that this black ox came out before all the other black oxen. Gemara Farish, the Gemara is going to explain. B'chein dinner b'chavius yesha farusho v'shnei panim. You can be explained that way as well. So it's a very interesting flip that Tosa says. Is it that you're being makdish the white one because it came out first, or is it you're makdish the second animal that came out because it happened to be the first black one that came out? But either way, this is the machlokus. Beis Shammai's Hillel, whether or not there is a din hektish b'tois. Okay. Let's finish this Mishnah. Dinner zahav shela biyadi risha naharihu hektish. There's a golden coin which is going to be in my hand first, will be hektish. V'olah shel kesef. And it turned out the first coin in your hand was silver. So it's the same thing. Beishami armim hektish, beisil imrim eno hektish. Chavish shel yayin. Third case. A barrel of wine, shetalo biyadi rishayin, which will come in my hand first. Harihi hektish. Also shel shemen, instead of wine, it was oil. Beishami armim hektish, beisil imrim eno hektish. Okay. So, says the Gemara. Beishami armim hektish. Chul. My tamaya de beishamai. So what is the reason? Why does Beis Shammai say that this works? It was a mistake. So the Alfinan Tchilas Hektish Masayif Hektish. He learns the beginning from the end. What's that? When it comes to Timura, which is considered to be Sof Hektish, Mas Timura Fil Batois, it works even by mistake. Because when a person has an animal which is Hektish, and he wants to do a Timura, so he says, I want the Kedusha of animal A to go to animal B. And his intention is that the animal A may no longer be Kadosh. So the answer is that yes, it works. The Kedusha does go from A to B, but the Kedusha stays also on A. So that's a mistake, right? Because that's not what you wanted to do. Nonetheless, it works. So I have Hektish Afil B'Tois. So too when it comes to Hektish, it's the same thing. Fine. And interestingly enough, even though this may not necessarily be the correct answer, but this is what it's brought down over here on this test some 8 years ago. Question TA6. Maha Mokar de Begamar Mavil Beishamay de Hukdish the Hektish Batois Havi Hektish. And he just says Mitimur de Chayal Batois, which is what we just said. We're going to end up seeing maybe that's not so true, but that's how they answer. That's TA6. So it sounds pretty good, though. How about Beis Hillel? The Beis Hillel, how do you mean Timura? You're right. When it comes to Timura, we know that B'tois works. Although Achusi Hektish B'tois lo machtinon. However, not in this situation, because there's a huge chiluk. When it comes to Timura, since there was already Kedusha on the first animal. So therefore, that's the reason why it may work, because there already is something which is kadosh. Mashen can hear where it's not, there's no kedusha yet at all, so therefore it doesn't work. So that's the chiluk. Okay. Beis Shammai. So according to Beis Shammai, that says hektish b'tois is hektish. Ma ilu omar. What if, when it came to the case of Timura, a person said the following: Hari zeh tachas zeh. You said that that this should be instead of this. Well, chatzi hayoim, for half the day. So on this, it says as follows: Mi havi timura, mi ahi shaita. Do we say that it'll be a timura right away at this moment? Ela adamati chatzi hayoim hu dehavi timura. Or do we say, no, that the Timur only will take place based on the stipulation? You said, l'chatzi hayoim, not right away. So, hachinami l'chim megali milsa. L'chayr, we should say the same thing, l'chim megali milsa, when this matter has been revealed, when this thing has been explained. First of all, let's look at the Mafarish, then we'll see the Rush. Once you're a megala milsa, the Yatza Shachar Tchila, if the black one comes out, Lahavi Kadosh, V'lohashta, and not now, Ki Nafak Laven Beresha, the Halu Gali Milsa Kidik Amar. Alright, let's see the Rush. So let's start off with the top of the Rush over here. Mesoif Haktish Timur Kari Soif Haktish. So Timur is called Soif Haktish Lafi Shikadu Shasaba Mikoyach Acheres, because it comes from something else. Ma Timura fil Batais can amrinan but Timura perish yesh bekarbanos yihiel or al b'shagi kamezid. Okay, skipping all the way down to the middle of the rush. It says igali milsam afreya. It'll be revealed regarding this ox retroactively. She kaimu devara, that your words work. She omer shor shachar shatzim bebeisi rishain, that the first animal that comes out, which will be black, will be kadosh. Tachel kedusha love the. Kol zeh shelo niskayim devarav Ein kan kedusha klal. But if your words were not did not take place, then it's not kadosh. It's only after it actually happens. Vodamu timuras tois. It's not the same thing as timuras, says the Rosh. The Hasim over there, ani mekayim devarav, masha haitz befiv. I'm fulfilling what comes out of my mouth. V'afagav de'in pivali b'shavin, even though what's in my heart and comes out of my mouth are not the same. Xeris akasavu dehavi timura. It doesn't make a difference. Even though I think that in my heart that I want the kedusha to be gone from animal A, it doesn't matter because what I said is accurate at that moment. And at that moment, you said the right words to make it into a tamura. But to change what came out of your mouth, we don't find that it works when it comes to tamura, to change the words. So too, we should say the same thing over here, that it shouldn't work. It should not work. So why in Beis Shammai do you say it works? Because the only reason why tamura works is because even though piv libo is not shav, it doesn't make any difference because you said the right words. But if over here it's megali milsa, so now we'll be able to understand the mafarish. It'll be clear the yatsa shachar tchila havi kadosh. Only if the black animal comes out first should it be kadosh, because that's what you said. Volhashta kinafa glovin beresha, but not now because the white one came out first. So it should not be kadosh because it goes against what you said. So I can understand by tamura that it worked, even though what you're thinking is not what you said, but it's still a tamura. But over here, what you said is not what happened. So why would we say that the white one becomes kadosh? Let's say according to the first pshat in Taisus. What do you mean? You made a stipulation about a black ox, not a white one. So why would we say it works? So that's why we said that the black one becomes kadosh. That the black one will become kadosh. Okay? Says the Mefarish, the Haki Kamer, Shacharishan Shatzi He Kadosh. Not, even though it's true, the white one came out first, doesn't make any difference. The second animal was black, that's the first animal, that's black, that was your stipulation. So the black one becomes Kadosh, which is the second Shat in Taisus. The Mashma, the Isle Shvarim Shcharim Harbe, because you have a lot of oxen that are black. And that was your intention. You were thinking to be makdish a black one. Omer shor shachar, the black ox which comes from other black oxen, yehektish. So you're right. The white one that came out first is not kadosh. Only the later black one. There's the second Shantaisis. Shchayrim. The Gali Milsa, the Aleha Kaimer of Alavan. So you're right. According to Beis Shammai, the first animal that came out, which is a white ox, will not be kadosh, because that wasn't your stipulation. It doesn't matter it came out first. However, eventually, when the next animal comes out, which happens to be black, that one will be kadosh, because that is what you said. Armali Rava Mibarnash. Ravashi. Hi hektish b'toisu. So we said that when it comes to Lafi Shitas Beis Shammai, that hektish b'tois is hektish b'kavanahu. So this is l'chayru with kavana. So my answer is mishum di atoy with di bure kama, because his words was a mistake. In other words, he only made a mistake with his words. So says the Mefarish, "V'ha shor shachar kaimer, demashma the shachar shatz tchila kaidem lavan." It sounds like the black one before the white one, kaidem lavan, Maybe we're talking there's only one black animal, black ox. Then it'll come be hektish. So that's going to be a question. So maybe that's what it's referring to. All right. So the Gemara continues. So Beis Shammai holds hektish b'toish lo havi hektish, which we said it is hektish, but again, under certain circumstances, not. But Tanan Mishnah the Nazir v'shoyel the nishol chachamim. So a person made themselves into a Nazir, and then they went to a chacham to have it removed. Vatiru, and they matered it, so the nether was removed. He's no longer Nazir. The Aisel behema mefareshis. Now let's see, this person though had animals which were designated for their karbanos. So the din is teitz v'tir ba'eder. So we say that certainly we say that it works on mafreya, so these animals are considered to be now the status like chulin, and therefore go back into the flock. So Omer Beis Hillel Beis Shammai, I atem moedim, don't you agree, shahektish b'toisu, that this is comparable to a case of hektish b'tois, with teitz v'tir ba'eder, that in this situation also. So Machlal, the Sabri Beis Shammai, hektish b'tois havi hektish. So we see clearly that Beis Shammai does hold hektish b'tois as hektish. Beis Hillel hu de kato. Sabri tamai de Beis Shammai mishum de hektish b'tois havi hektish. We originally thought the reason is because Beis Shammai holds that it's a mistake and it's still hektish. Yermelhun Beis Shammai lav mishum hektish b'toisu el mishum di'ati with dibur kama. It has nothing to do with b'tois. It's only that his words were a mistake, but it's not that it wasn't hektish b'tois. He just made a mistake in his language. Okay, so maybe we're saying that really he holds that hektish b'tois is really lohavi hektish. Okay. Okay. So let's look at some of the mafarish on the bottom. It says Amalei Rav Achamer Bar Nash. So he said, "Hi hektish b'toisu hektish b'kavanahu kivan di amrit de lakach amarishon." The reason why he said the first animal the daita lahaktish kol mishiatarishon tchil. Maybe his intention was any animal that came out first. Bein lavan, bein lavan, bein shachar. Whether it was the first animal was white or black. Havi hektish b'kavana. So that's hektish with kavana. V'amai karli hektish b'tois. Why would he call that hektish b'tois? His intention was really just any animal that comes out. He mentioned white or black, but it didn't really make any difference. So we end up saying, El hachi karli hektish tois. Why is it called a mistake? It's really was b'kavana, because he didn't really care if it was white or black. Because mishum shachar shiatzu b'reisha di'ate. He made a mistake saying the word black. Lahu dibur kama di mechse kaman do nichle el kdushi el shachar. It sounds like, based on his language, that he only wanted to be makdish a black one. But the truth is, it doesn't matter. He just mentioned that stam. That was really part of what his kavana was. His kavana was to be makdish the first animal that comes out. And therefore, it doesn't matter if it's white or black. Yeah, he mentioned black. So it wasn't really a hektish b'tois. That's how we're understanding this. That really Beis Shammai doesn't hold hektish b'tois as hektish, but rather he learns out stam. It's because when you say something, even though your intention really is for any animal to come out, but you mention in your words a little bit of a confusing language by saying the black one, which could give the implication that only a black one. So therefore we say, no, he didn't really mean that. But it's not considered to be a case of hektish b'tois, because maybe Beis Shammai really holds hektish b'tois is not hektish. Okay. So if you look in the Mafarish, Amar Hen Beis Hillel Beis Shammai, Achshav Chazartem L'Hoyrais Kidavarenu. Now it sounds like you're holding like me, Beis Shammai. The hektish b'tois ain't no hektish. K'gain zu shibisha shafrisha. The time you were mafresh hayasavar shehu nazir. You thought that he was a nazir. V'ta, and he made a mistake. Yatem oimrim she'enu hektish. And therefore the animals can go and graze. No, Beis Shammai really holds hektish b'tais is not hektish. Continuing the mafarish, the inhu savri, the amri gabi shor shachar. When it came to saying the black one, havi hektish. Why? Mishum de hektish b'tais. Mishum de hektish tais havi hektish. The ka'amri ulu Beis Shammai. No, that's not the reason why. Lav l'hachi amri. He didn't say this. The havi hektish dili dunstu and the hektish b'tais lo havi hektish. Beis Shammai, right? Even Beis Shammai holds that hektish b'tais is not hektish. Elahacha kavana. He had the intention. Just any animal that came out. It was just the atoy l'dibur kama kidol el. Right? By saying the black ox, but the truth is he didn't care if it was a black ox, even if it wasn't a black ox, he still would have. If it was a white one, he also just wanted to be makdish the first one. So right now we're saying that Beis Shammai does not disagree when it comes to hektish b'tais. Hektish b'tais is not hektish. Mechlal the sabri Beis Shammai hektish b'tais have hektish. Back in the Gemara, El Beis Hillel hu de kato. The Beis Hillel made a mistake. Sabri tamai Beis Shammai. Beis Hillel thought that Beis Shammai held mishum de hektish b'tais havi hektish. Yermahon Beis Shammai lav mishum de hektish b'tais who, because I hold hektish b'tais as lo havi hektish. El mishum de atila dibur kama, because you said, oh, I'm a Nazir, but the truth is because you didn't really say the right words. You were a Nazir, but since you removed it, it was clear from your original words that that's not what your intention was. That's not what you really wanted. So it was removed. You had a heter chacham. So therefore, it works l'mafrei, and therefore, because of that, your animals can go to the ed there. So that's the same thing over here. It's not because of hektish b'tos that this animal that first came out is hektish. It's because your intention was not on a black animal. Your intention was any animal that would come out. Okay, as we continue to Lamed Aleph Amid Beis. V'savar Beis Shammai hektish b'tois. Will I be hektish? Is that really true? Tashema hoy mahalchad b'derech. A person is on the road. Ve'echad ba kenegdan. You have a person that's walking towards you. Ve'oimer echad. One person says, "Harini Nazir shezeh ploini." I think I recognize him. If that's George, then I'm going to be a Nazir. Ve'echad oimer harini Nazir she'ein zeh ploini. I'm going to be a Nazir if that's not George. Harini Nazir ve'echad michem Nazir. Then so we say that, and the third guy says, "I'm a Nazir if one of these guys is a Nazir." The fourth guy says, "She'ein echad michem Nazir." I'll be a Nazir if none of them are a Nazir. And then the fifth guy says, "Sheshnechem Nazirim." I'll be a Nazir if both of them are Nazirim. And the sixth person says, "Shekulchem Nazirim." If all of you are Nazirim. So Beis Shammai armim kol Nazirim. So according to this, Beis Shammai says they're all considered to be Nazirim. Says the Mefarish, "Ve'ein locha echad mehem shaloi amar harini Nazir." None. We don't find any of them said shaloi amar harini Nazir. The Alpha Mishakul Toyin. Now they all made mistakes because in one way, Shaisvorim she'enin kamo she'ein oimrim, because they all thought not like they said. How is it possible that they could all be Nazirim? Because not all of this happens. So therefore, it must be that even though Naziris b'tois, right? B'hahacha hektish b'toisu, the katani kol Nazirim. This is where it's a little bit interesting because question 6 says me'ezem Mishnah. So he said, based on this, if you're going on the road and someone's coming by you, one of them says, "I'm a Nazir," if that's Ploni. The other one says, "I'm a Nazir," if that's not Ploni. So he says, even all 6 people make these similar, different types of things about this guy coming. So we say they're all considered to be Nazirim, which obviously shows that hektish b'tois is havi hektish. So therefore, Amri Beis Shammai hektish b'tois havi hektish hacha lo. So you're right. Normally we say that he does hold hektish b'tois is hektish. However, it does not necessarily mean it should be derived from our Mishnah, because our Mishnah of the animal that comes out first may not be a raya, the hektish b'tais is havi hektish. It could be, again, his das was b'kavana, whichever animal comes out first. And he made a mistake in his language by saying the black ox, because he didn't really care if it was a black or white ox. So even though it's true, hektish b'tais havi hektish, but that's not a raya from our Mishnah. Abaya oimer lo kasalka daitach dekoyim b'safra. So our entire process of when he said the statement is it's the morning. In other words, these animals did not come out yet. So he made the statement, then the animals came out. So he says, no, that's not what was going on over here. Rather, what happened was he made the statement in the afternoon, which means he said it after the oxen had already come out. So this is a statement that he said in our Mishnah based on something that has already occurred. The animals are already out. He may not know, let's say, right now which animal came out first, but it happened already, and it'll be found out 100% which one came out first. So what's the difference? For Omer, he says like this: Shor shachar shiyatzim beisi rishon. The ox, which was black, that was the first ox that came out, which happened to be black, that is the one l'havi hektish. The Amrulay, and then he was told, you made a mistake. We know for a fact the first ox that came out was not black, rather lava nafak. It was a white one that came out. So the Amar Lahoin, and he said, Ihavi Yadana, if I would have known the lava nafak, that the white one came out, lo Amar Shachar, I wouldn't have said black. So, what is this talking about? So, his mistake was he thought the animal that went out already was black. And he said that one should be a hektish. He was corrected, and he said, no, the animal that came out first was actually white. And they said, had I known, I'd want the white one to be hektish. So therefore the white one is hektish. So this is what happened. It already took place. And therefore in that situation, the white one is in fact hektish. If you look in the Mafarish, but Saharayim, the Omer Shor Shachar Shiyatza, the ox, which the black one already came out first, and that was the first animal that came out. Maybe it's Rishon Hayoim Lahavi Kadosh. And then he was told, no, you made a mistake. Actually, the first animal that came out was black. It was not black, it was white. So he said, you know what? Had I known that, of course I would have wanted the white one to be, because notice his whole das was only the first animal that came out already. Okay. So let's hold off 1 second. Look at the first before that. You can't ask this question anymore. Fine. Now there's a whole question by Tamura was that you're making a statement about something which will happen, but over here it's something which happened already. Are we really going to establish that we're talking about a situation where it happened already? The ox already came out. The white ox came out, and only later on in the day you said, "Oh yeah, the black ox which came out first." For the Tani, but if you read the rest of the Mishnah, it says Dinir Shel Zahav Shialeh. It says the coin which will come out. That's something which came out already. So in order for it to be consistent with the other cases of our Mishnah, it should be talking about the made the declaration in the morning of the ox which will come out, just like the coin will come out. So Tani Shialeh. So you have to actually change the language to the golden coin which came out already. You can ask the same question. The barrel of wine which will come out. So your answer is, again, Tani she'alta, that it came out already. So therefore, we can remain inconsistent by just changing the language a little bit of the other cases. Amar Chista. Uchma b'chivra lakya. So if you have a black ox among white oxen, chiyura b'uchma lakya, and you have a black, a white stain on a black ox. Okay, so what is this talking about? So let's look at the Mefarish. Let's start off with the Mefarish. He says like this: Rav Chisda, uchma b'chivra lakya, which again you have a black ox among white oxen. Shor shachar, one black ox, bein halavanim, among the black many white oxen. Kochashu, it's weak. Dishor lavan adif tfei. We know that a white ox, for whatever reason, is stronger. So you have this black ox among the many white oxen. So the white oxen are the majority, and the white oxen also are stronger. Chiyura b'uchma laki kalaymar v'afagav deshor lavan mali. Even though it's true that a white ox is better, if you'll hachi ki ika ksamim, if let's say there are stains, chiyur and white stains, b'mashcha detura uchma lakusahi, it will lower it. The fact that you have these stains on it, that lowers its status. Okay, fine. So Tanan, shachar shiatzim bebesi rishain hektish. So what did our Mishnah say? The black one which came from my house first is hektish. Ki makdish, that when you're makdish something ba'ayin ra makdish, you're makdish things ba'ayin ra. In other words, maybe you're going to give the less quality, which in this situation is the black ox. The Amri Beis Shammai Havi Hektish. He says that the white one is Hektish. But we know that the white one is better than the black one. So l'chara, he meant the black one, which is a lower valued ox, because that's what we're saying, that a white ox has more value. So the fact that he said a black ox is because maybe his intention was ba'ayin ra. He was only intending to give a lower quality ox. And then when the white one comes out, the fact that Beis Shammai says it's hektish, it's hard to understand. Why would we say it's hektish, especially if ba'ayin ra makdish, the elamai ba'ayin yafa makdish? It must be the fact that Beis Shammai says that the white one is able to be hektish is because a person does have a proper eye when they give to hektish, and therefore, even though he said black, the truth is he wanted to be able to give, he would be willing to give even the nicer one, because that's the reason why he says the white one is hektish. So dinner shel zahav shall be adi rishain, a golden coin, which obviously is more valuable, viola, which viola kesef, Beis Shammai omrim hektish. Now this is interesting. Beis Shammai says it's hektish, but you only meant the better golden coin, velamai ba'ayin ra makdish, right? So what do we see? We see actually the opposite case over here, because your original intention was gold, and then all of a sudden the silver one comes out, so he says it's hektish, but maybe you only meant to give the better, higher quality coin. In other words, if it's true ba'ayin yafe makdish, so then the fact that you're makdish something good, so you're not going to want to give something of lower quality. The elamai ba'ayin ra makdish. So now you want to say ba'ayin ra. That's the reason why it says it works even with the silver one, which is a lower quality. So avachavi shaliyan shital biyadi rishain. The oil shel shemen. Now it sounds like oil is less than wine. Beis Shammai amrim hektish. The shemen, actually the other way around. The shemen adv miyayin. Oil, at least there, has more chashivas than wine. So imishum ha lo kasha, but galil shanu the chamer adif b'mashcha. So you could always say that maybe wine. You can't ask this question which one's of higher quality, because if you want to tell me that oil is better than wine, in Goil, wine was of higher quality than oil. So Reisha Kasha, Rav Chisda. So we have this question according to Rav Chisda, who says again that white oxen are better. So then how do we understand this? That if you are willing to give this ox, which is black, which is of lower quality, so then why would we say necessarily that's hektish for the white one, which is of higher quality? So unless you want to say ba'ayin yafa. Ki amri batura di karmanai. We're talking about a when did we say that white is better? Dafka if it's a ox which comes from Karmanoi, which is a particular location. So when it comes to that particular type of ox, says the very last mafarsh here, Kikam Rav Chisda Uchma Lakia, that the black one is like lower quality, is Luradia of Lamashcha Havi Adif. Okay, we'll explain that in a second. So that's just this. Rav Chisda Uchma Lamashche Sumka Libasare. When it comes to a black ox, it's high. It's good for its hide. Sumka, a red ox, is libasare. It's for its meat. Chiyavra liradia, and the white ox is for plowing. So therefore we see that each ox has its own qualities. Rav Chisda uchma bechibro lakia, but I thought you said the black is less quality. Kiamri batura de karmanoi. So again, depending on its location. So again, let's look at the mafarshim before that. Kikamri chiyura mali. When we said the white ox is better, tfei matura de karmanoi. Shel charisha, it's for plowing. Chivra mali tfei. The white oxen are better for plowing. Aval labisra for its meat. Uchma adif tfei. The black one is better. Mechibra umishum hachi. That's the reason why. Amri Beishami Gabi Hektish, the Lovan Habi Hektish Degriri Tfei. That white is actually less than black, right? So when you said black, and then you ended up a white one came out, so you're actually giving less than what you intended. So you can say, well, if I only wanted to give X, so if more comes out, maybe it won't work. But because white is actually less quality, so therefore it is a hektish. So you can be makdish something of a higher quality, black, as opposed to white. Even though it's true, you can use it for plowing. A white ox is better for plowing, but it's not better for the purpose of a carbon, which is for its basar. Okay. Or for its hides. Uchma l'mashcha malitvei. So it's a black ox is better for its hides. Besumka lebisra mali. And a red one is for its meat. The chibra mali uradi lechrisha. And the white one's good for its plowing. Av yom Rav Chisda uchma bechibra lakia demashma bein lamashcha bein l'radia havi uchma gerua. It sounds like black is worse for everything. No, kikam Rav Chisda, when Rav Chisda said that black is worse, that's only l'radia, only compared to, for plowing, because plowing is better with a white ox. Of lamashcha havi adif. When it comes to its hides, it is better. Okay, let's see a couple of questions. A lot of material there, and let's possibly see a question. So question 6. So that we did see. When it comes to a person who says, etc. So that's what it is. Question possibly TA7, Krolachia Siri, that's by Maisa Behema, and also question TB7 will be the same thing. That's tomorrow's daf. Adkan.